Well, this sucks. Oh, yeah, it sucks even more now that I've dropped that. I think I've fixed the... I mean, I fixed a lot of things. I don't even need to really get into it at all, because this has just been no good, frankly. I've been dealing with so many issues, and it hasn't been very fun. Um, I basically spent the entire day just spending, just trying to figure everything out. And it kind of, yeah, it kind of sucks. Um, Let me just test out. Give me a moment here. As per usual. Give me a moment here. As per usual. Testing, 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 testing. Joe Biden. Testing, 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 testing. Joe Biden. I guess that's okay. I guess that's fine. Maybe I'll just turn the mic up just a little bit, but yeah. So I'm using a nvidia broadcast this time around. I guess we'll see how it goes. There we go. Cause what? Oh, bruh. That's kind of funny that I can just yeet myself out the way there. Okay. Probably not going to be live for very long because I have got to go to sleep so I can actually work in the morning without being extremely tired. But yeah, it's been an interesting day for sure. There was a lot that I wanted to do today that I didn't really get to do, which is always unfortunate. But you know, we move. We move. Okay, that sucks. But yeah, I found out that basically that was cool. Basically, the way that I'd set up OBS was kind of cringe with I mean, hopefully nvidia broadcast won't be too bad, but it's cool to test it for at least a little bit, because it does really effectively remove like background the hissing, not hissing, but like just the sound of my fan being turned on. But it's like I do have to not die. If this room just had better ventilation, then it would be obviously like far more easy to, far more manageable. But I mean, it's a blazing summer. It is insane out there. So yeah, I was gonna mention how basically my audio interface, to focus right one, piss off. Piss off. I should actually test, yeah, whoops, that takes a screenshot evidently. Yeah, apparently I did manage to fix, so the issue was that there's a desktop configuration when Steam is active, and I didn't want that active, so that was stupid. I meant to stall by using a super. Every time I would go to pause, I would end up accidentally triggering what in the world is... what is going on with that? piss off with that. My... oh, no. Okay. What was I saying? I was accidentally triggering the wrong, thing, and so I... Because on the Switch Pro controller from, like the GameCube Switch Pro controller from PowerA, it has a, what do you call it? It's got multiple buttons because the original, piss off. The original thing, the original controller, GameCube controller, only has the stop button. So you kind of get used to its position being in the very middle. But it's not in the middle. Because they've got, like a home button and a screenshot button. A media button, because you can record a video with it as well by holding it down. But that's like all the dedicated button even does. Piss off. Die. He's not dead still? There we go. I'm probably gonna fail this. That's real cool, man. That is actually like one of the most frustrating things you could possibly have. I've done that multiple times as well. I don't know how I've screwed up. Like, it's pretty simple to avoid doing that. But it was like, I mean, you would see in the previous streams, I was accidentally somehow alt-tabbing, it was getting pretty ridiculous. Just like going to pause to restart and it would freeze. On OBS it would freeze it. But yeah. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I'm screwing up on things that I've never screwed up on before, which I guess is a sign that you're reaching some sort of a... Yeah, anyway. Yeah, all you have to do is disable the Steam input for desktop, which for, like... Actually, I think you have to do it for all controllers. So, if you ever wanted to... If you were ever struggling with that problem on Steam Deck, you wouldn't be able to do that. Because you want the Steam Deck to be able to input while Steam is active. It'd be kind of ridiculous if you didn't have it that way. I haven't been spending much time on my Steam Deck, just because, I haven't really been taking it out. Well, haven't been hanging out as much. Because I've been kind of keeping myself busy, and other circumstances, but it's a great thing to have when you're out and about. Piss off. But what I was trying to say, because I can't, like, actually keep a thought, like a thought train. What do they call that? It's a train of thought. I can't keep a cogent train of thought going when I'm doing something like this. That much is pretty evident. But my audio interface was acting up. Basically, if you don't have something plugged in to both of your inputs on this particular controller, it's still susceptible to, oh, I'm so bad. Hi, question mark? Hello. I would read your username, but it's just like 5Ks. J Mucho. Hello and welcome. Sorry for my name. You know, sometimes you just have to apologize for I wonder if... Nah, anyway. Yeah, this audio interface was acting up because it's got it's like you want to have something plugged into both the TRS in input 2 and the whatever the other input is in input 1. I mean, preferably you have both a TRS, like both inputs are actually able to go in, so it's like, you know, no matter what the thing is, but, it was being troublesome every time with that stupid thing. That's real cool, man. Already warning you, I don't know much English. If I say something wrong, let me know, and if I don't answer you, it's for the same reason. Oh no, I get that, for sure. Sometimes, is that why you have all of the K's in the name? Because is it in Portuguese that, K, like a bunch of K's in a row kind of represents laughing? Because, in English, we will do, like, haha, in things that have, like, the Cyrillic alphabet, they use, well, because the Cyrillic alphabet looks completely different, they use, like, XA, XA. I actually really like that, because it's funny. I like seeing those little differences. I'm Portuguese, I see, yeah. Well, that makes sense. That's what I've seen, Portuguese speakers either in, Portugal or in, Brazil or wherever else they speak Portuguese, that's how they show laughing. I find it very interesting, the sort of differences in mannerisms between different languages and culture. I find it very fascinating. Okay, that's real cool, man. So I should... Oh, I was just about to say I should be careful with this stupid thing. Oh yeah, I'm at 2 health anyway. Anyway, okay. What is the name of that input? XLR is the name of the input. TRS and XLR. That's excellent. They have these ones where you can plug in an XLR, or you can plug in a TRS. It's like embedded into the middle of the thing. I'm not sure if they have like a funny special name for that, but it's cool. And but mine doesn't have that feature, which is normally pretty nice. But regardless, apparently it's just the nature of the beast with this, because I've got 2 of them. One of them was my brother's, and I ended up buying another bundle. So I was essentially just borrowing it from my brother, because he couldn't use it. But I've learned a lot about, you know, having and using them, obviously, after so long. And I've tested both of them with it. I thought that I was maybe having some sort of a interference because of the positioning of my XLR cable. And it turns out the entire reason is because I was mixing them down to mono. Essentially, there's feedback that plays through, like whether or not you have, to my understanding, like whether or not you have something plugged into the TRS in input 2. And in input 1 to a certain degree, but it actually lessens significantly when you actually do have an XLR input plugged into it. Like, it'll just kind of silence it, which is pretty interesting. Whoops. Should actually start, focusing a bit. Ah, piss off. Oh, and of course I had to go right in the only place I could go at that point. Ah. Yeah, I'll get this. I know I was close last night, but, yeah, so it kind of ruined last stream because, I was mucking about with this guitar that I found, I was going thrifting, and I got a $75 guitar, which was nice, a Stratocaster in pretty great condition, all things considered. But, I was noodling around, messing with it. I think it needs a... I mean, it tunes just fine, but I think it needs, like, a tune-up. I don't know if it needs maintenance, let's just call it that. I'm not sure if there's, like, a word for it specifically for guitars, because I'm not too experienced with guitars. I don't remember what we'd call it when I did it with my clarinet or saxophone. Actually, I don't know if I ever took my saxophone in. I guess it's getting maintenance. You take it into the shop or whatever. Regardless, I was mucking about on it, and I ended up having the gain turned up on that, which apparently it doesn't really matter whether or not the gain's up. It still has the significant amount of feedback. Well, it's not feedback, it's static. And it's like nasty static. So once I can finally get the stream from yesterday up, you'll be able to see at least what I attempted to do to fix it. But it was quite unfortunate, because, die. Oh, and of course his hitbox of his dead falling body. Still has an active hitbox on it, by the way. Doesn't just disappear like some enemies do. But like, I'd noticed it, like, on previous streams where I had this hissing in the background, and I was like, what is that? That is horrible. And I tried to use, like, noise, not noise suppression. Though I am using, NVIDIA Broadcast this time around at a generally low, setting. And that's only because, apparently the fan really does have quite an effect. Somehow the temperature was just fine, for, like, over 2 hours last night. Enough for me to have the fan off. I had to kind of start out with it today. I believe I changed the input. That'd be kind of funny if I didn't. Stupid axe. Oh, that was interesting. I was more dashing to dodge the thing, but it works. I'm gonna wait until you actually shoot something. Oh! I should have. That was kind of a good usage there, because it sort of saved me. Oh, I forgot that those are parryables. Bruh. Sad. But I might continue to use NVIDIA. It depends on when I go back and look at the broadcast. I might continue to use NVIDIA broadcast. I don't like how harsh it is. Because it's using AI, but it's really not very good. What just ka-chinged at me? I need to make sure my do not disturb is on my phone. Oh, see, that's just so much quieter. I actually want to test the monitor on that. Turn monitor. Oh no, that was not the right one. Monitor and output. Hello, 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 hello. That's kind of. See, and it adds a significant delay, which I definitely think is interesting. But it actually helps. It fixes my sync issue, which I mean, I think I can actually put a delay on in the filters or advanced audio or something anyway. But regardless, I'll see how it is when I go to edit, and there's not much of a chance. I mean, I do kind of dislike the fact that it's destructive, in that I can't just Control Z it, but you know, it was just as destructive for me to have a bad input on for the past, like, several streams, adding, like, a hiss and a feedback into the background of the entire stream. It was just until last stream that it was so egregious, because I had turned it up, that I noticed it to the degree that I had to fix it, go in and change some settings to fix it. But yeah, I think it's, like, fixed now, so it actually, like, my audio should be better synced. So even if I have, like, the NVIDIA broadcast, like, the noise suppression turned down more so that it doesn't, like, nuke my voice and something, I can still have it on. Well, it's nice that the AI can actually kind of find where the audio, like all the hissing and whatever other background crap you don't really want, it can just suck it out. Well, it doesn't suck it out. It identifies it intelligently with AI, and it can take it out like that, in real time, which is nice. But it is more GPU resources being taken away, and you don't get it on laptop if you haven't got an NVIDIA card that is at least a 20 series. It's got to have RTX. It's got to have those, what is it, Tensor cores or higher? But not Tensor. I don't know. It's got to be 20 series or higher. That's all I know. Real-time ray tracing capability. That's why I should have, especially considering how much I paid for the laptop, I should have opted to try and get something that was, like, it's like, you know, 1060 laptop, like, whatever. Like, that was my perspective back then, but then I didn't understand that, like, for one thing, it's used, for another thing, it's, I mean, it had a lot of problems, to be frank. That is obnoxious. But, not having the ability to have, DLSS is really sad, because it's like, when you're on the go, and all you really need are frames, DLSS is just a godsend. Like, I would love to have had a laptop with DLSS back in the college days. That would have been pretty excellent. But yeah, I'm testing this out for this stream, and I'll see sometime tomorrow or whenever I decide to actually hop into Premiere to make sure that the audio gets fixed before getting the re-upload to YouTube. So I thought it would be a little bit simpler than that, but there's definitely a lot of fixing to do in post that you can use to... Don't... Might be far more viable just to avoid these guys entirely, considering parries are definitely important. Speaking of which, I'm actually not certain how to deal with that phase as Chalice. That's real cool. No, so apparently the alt-tabbing is still in full force here. I actually don't know, like, it's something about me pressing, like, 2 buttons at the same time or something. I'd have to hop into the settings in the overlay of big picture or whatever in order to really figure out why that's happening, I suppose. At least I don't have to deal with the controller acting up, because now I don't have to have, like, Steam conflicting its inputs with Dolphin, because that was my issue before, is that it would make it, like, impossible for me to interact with Dolphin if Steam was even open. But that's obnoxious, stupid imp. Baba. Yeah, hopefully the audio's better for live, so we could always use that. And I suppose no, I've got the gain up at my reasonable amount that I like to have it at. Okay. Surprisingly, my hands haven't been in total and utter pain due to all of this back-to-back S-ranking shenaniganizing. I really like that with the, like, you can save yourself after the dash with the double, because that's, I mean, it's just excellent. It is an excellent option, as seen right there. That's real cool, man. And it cancelled my super, that's real cool as well. I think I'm dehydrated. I feel like these last couple days, and it might just be the weather, but Normally it's the winter that I can't stay hydrated in and my lips are always nasty. But I've definitely felt a little bit funny. Can't... I'm sick of it doing that. Wait, why... Why did it just have a thing to say that the audio was, like, all the way up? Speakers NVIDIA broadcast. Well, I definitely don't want to have my output be through NVIDIA broadcast. Sound... Sometimes. Sometimes, man. Sometimes this is the way that it be. Output. There we go. I wonder if it was actually... I don't think I had any settings in here. Yeah. I didn't have any settings in NVIDIA broadcast to change that, but... Did it cut my mic out for half a second? Okay. I'm glad it still has audio, because that would have been annoying. Why did it have to put the pink one up there? Oh, you know, it kind of helps to have the actual game up. Yeah, I really wish there was a better way for me to actually... I mean, there could be a lot of things to kind of help. But I'll see in editing if NVIDIA Broadcast is like actually based and pilled in comparison to in particularity to the time sync. We'll see how epic that is. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Go? Are you gonna go? You gonna leave? You gonna die? Thanks. Oh, I saw a bit of clipping in the funny Unity layering there. That was kind of funny. The way she went into the hole. I feel like the only people who wouldn't find my streams boring are fellow neurodivergents with similar interests. That's really cool, man. I couldn't even get the single parry there after that. I'm wondering if I should just try swap into Lobber during that, I knew it was there and I was trying to parry it. I kind of wish NVIDIA Broadcast could... Well, if there was a plugin for OBS for NVIDIA Broadcast, that'd be kind of nice. But I wish it could add, like... Well, I wish it had better settings. Oh, yeah, wait. That's one thing I haven't considered with this. I have it hard pan to the left, haven't I? It is monitor. Wait, look. Can I not hear that? Hello? Hello? Is this how the testing? I didn't consider that. So if I swap back to this, testing, testing. See, I do think that sounds better, but like, listen to this. Oh, whoops, I forgot if you hard pan it. But that is the feedback that I was having that entire time. That sucks. And it was more like here, but yeah, no, it was still super bad. Super bad. Oh, cause that... I'm trying to think, okay. So if I swap back, close, program, be like, if I swap back to NVIDIA Broadcast, now it sounds a little bit different. Let's put the strength all the way down. So we got that. Is this still Baba Bowie? Is this working? See, if I turn this all the way up, that's the test. It still can't hear. I'll keep it like that for now. I kind of forgot. Stop the stupid echoing. I'll keep it like that for now. Just keep it at like a super low strength. I probably should have tested actually like streaming with it before actually streaming with it, believe it or not, but it's whatever. Because I realized that the I mean, what did I realize? Sometimes it's weird, like I want to decode the thoughts that are in my brain. Because without it going through NVIDIA Broadcast, oh, that's the test. This is what I gotta do. Properties, it's in NVIDIA Broadcast. We go to the advanced. We hit monitor and output. That. Because I can hear that. Can I hear... Oh. Yeah, that is a problem. Because that makes it so that it already it already... So you can hear that. I feel like when everything's off, it might just be better to do that. Right? Oh. Why is it? Well, oh. See, I should always have that turned all the way down, to be sure. I don't know. Let's keep the monitor on. I hate having to go through these. Yeah, that hissing. I can't use this. Well, I can still hear the hissing in here as well. I'm... Hmm. Hmm. So I have that down. I might need to swap headphones for this. Oh, crap. Because these headphones, uh, they're not like open back, but then they're definitely not like, what's the word? They're not good. Um, what are we trying to do here? Plug in these headphones. Okay. Can I hear the hissing? This would all be fixed. Yeah, that brings the hissing back more significantly. Like y'all should be able to hear. I I can't deal with like hearing my voice at the same time of actually like speaking. Oh, I have to take the headphones off in order to do that without like having multiple aneurysms at the same time. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, this sucks. Testing, testing, testing. Yeah, because just the ambient noise of that is bad enough. Like, I almost want to say that that's worse. I, and the only thing about that, maybe the, hmm, maybe the, maybe it's like still there, but I can't hear it because of the background noise. So this is just an issue with my, because if I could just select analog one, only one, as my input. Oh, I might be able to do that in Windows. Oh, this is such a mess. Um, left channel, right channel. Oh, wait, I can just turn the left channel down in here. Okay, monitor and output. Let's see. Sometimes I have to like hear myself think. Okay, so that's the total volume right there. Um, it's the right channel. So I can do that, right? Yes. That's it. See, and if I have it all the way up like this, then it takes away that hissing, but like this is kind of what it sounds like when you have the what do you call it? What do you call it? The noise suppression, the stupid filter um in Premiere. This is what it sounds like with that, where it definitely has removed all of that sound, but it removes your voice and it starts to like interfere with that. So we don't like that. See, this is it just marginally gets better. I just keep it at like 50% or something. I don't like how much it removes. It seriously is impossible to like think when that's happening. Um Oh, and that's why it doesn't do anything when I have it in there. Um so because I can still hear it. Um Is that... I don't know. I suppose we'll have to keep it at that for now. I still haven't tested out my beta mic on this, so I will have to do that. But I'll keep the strength that high. It's just frustrating that I can hear that it doesn't sound right. Oh. And part of the reason why part of the reason why I don't use these headphones as my actual headphones is because well, actually I think that's the only reason, is that they're incredibly uncomfortable. Like, incredibly uncomfortable. It's that thing where it's like compressing your ears in, and they just it's way too, what's the word? It just it sucks all the blood out my ears, and I don't like that. Now I'm out of water. I have to fill up my water. I wonder if you'd be able to hear this. Suppose we'll see. Yeah, this is the unfortunate thing. It's because I can notice it pretty intensely, and none of the effects that I can apply live can actually fix those problems. And that just kind of sucks. Not gonna lie. It just kind of sucks that it's like, yep, you've got a big problem in your stream and you can't really do anything about it. Have fun. It's like, but what if I'm trying to create recordings so I can, like, you know... It sucks. I wish I could disable the HD60 Pro, like, audio. Whatever. It's fine, because I need to tone up my audio anyway. Okay. I'll turn it up even higher, I don't even care. See, I guess everybody has a little bit of, like, hissing and whatnot in the audio. It really bothers me when, like, I don't know, it seems like there's something I can do about it. Get out of my way, man. Sometimes. It's sad, yeah, that's definitely something to talk about. So, for the past, forever, I've been, well, not forever, but it's been a long time. It's like 2 years, maybe, something like that. Technically, I think it's only been, like, 1 year. But I've been, locked out of Pokemon Go. Locked out of heaven. Oh, that's cool. And the entire reasoning behind that is because, of course he immediately has to send out an axe and squeeze his hitbox in a funny direction. Hi! That's very, very unfortunate. I feel like I kind of have to make it to that final phase. I didn't have to restart. But I feel like it was not in the bag. Get out of my way! Zoinks. So, my iPhone 7, I had jailbroken, goodness. I had it jailbroken when I was going to college. And I had that phone for, like, several years. Technically, I still got it, but it's not, like, my phone. It's not, like, my daily driver, you know? Because I replaced it. And the main reason behind me replacing it was, because the battery sucked. It didn't have support anymore with, updates and whatnot. And, well, I mean, it has support in the sense that they're updating the security, but they're not updating for feature. Which, you know, there are just some features that I wanted. Like, so when you're jailbroken, there's loads of features that you can get that are free to you that Apple doesn't want you to get. At least sometimes they don't even want you to get them on, like it kind of depends on your iOS. It's like, you know, this feature is available. Technically, physically, like, your device is capable of this feature. It could compute this. It's just Apple doesn't want to code it for your device specifically, or for the OS that runs on your device. That has been the case. That's just horrible, frankly. Sometimes there's just nowhere for you to go, is there? But they want you to, it has always been the case that you have not been able to use every single Bluetooth device, or connect or discover every single Bluetooth device to your iPhone, because Apple is just a bunch of tyrants. And they only want you to do exactly what they want you to do. So that you didn't have the option to, say, connect any game controller that you wanted, even if it used no. Even if it uses Bluetooth, you can't connect a PS3 controller, couldn't connect a Nintendo Switch controller. And the reasons for that were unknown for the most part. I mean, my speculation, because I have no good faith in Apple, and I haven't for a really long time, is that, you know, we don't want you to do things because, you know, Apple wants everybody within their ecosystem. Like, they would rather you, if you're gonna play games, then they want you to play Apple games with an Apple controller. Like, I think ideally that's the way that they would want it to be. I don't think they have plans at the moment of launching a controller, but it wouldn't be far from, I wouldn't be surprised at all, because, you know, they've had whatever the Apple Unified subscription they want to have, like, piss off, man. I can't see you coming. They have Apple TV and Apple Games and Apple everything. They have the Apple tax on everything that actually runs on an Apple, like, they just don't do a good job at all of, encouraging free enterprise, and I mean, it makes sense considering they're largely a Chinese company. Not a good company. Regardless, for a long time, you weren't able to have, what do you call it? Nintendo Switch controllers could not be connected. No other controllers could be connected. So one of the only ways to do that was through jailbreak. And actually, still right now, jailbreak is the best option for connecting like most devices on your iPhone. Well, like Nintendo Switch controllers, still the only option available to you is piss off. It just has to spawn things right where I'm headed. I can't with that. No. So obnoxious. Piss off. I really wish I could have like a cogent conversation with myself. My train of thought is terrible. It's genuinely just awful. Unless I'm not doing anything. If I'm just focusing on the thought, I can talk all day. I think some of the most fun I've had on stream is actually when I'm able to overcome that sort of struggle. Why? That's really cool, man, that you decided to do that the moment. Waste. It was out. I dashed into it. Which is a good thing for Chalice, because that's how you parry video game. That's just a waste. So I was thinking about how maybe it would be more viable to try and use lobber all over the place for that, but I think I've tried that before and it's not viable. Because you can't get any shots in, it just doesn't work. I mean, it is viable for killing those guys. So is literally anything else. They get killed by everything. Well, that was a good save. You're literally cheating. I can't believe that. He no-scoped me with that. That was silly. That was actually ridiculous. I think that's actually what you've got to do, is you've got to dash out. The double jump will really help with that phase. You got to dash out, no matter what is chilling out there. Actually, because of what's chilling out there being the parryables. And then you can double jump, hit another parry perhaps, on your way back in. It sucks when there are games or really anything where people... I just wish people were more, what's the word? Fiscally conservative? Because they have, like, such selfish interests where they don't consider, like, how what they do affects, like, the free market, affects, like, the individuals that they're actually getting their profit off of. Because it's like, I will never buy an iPhone, in a way that actually, like, benefits the company. The only thing that I pay Apple for is occasionally when they have products that are locked on their platform, like, friggin', are you joking? That stupid axe. I was facing the... Ugh. Actually cheating. I only buy used iPhones because, I mean, hardware-wise, we don't get what we're paying for. They charge us an insane amount because it's Apple and they have to have Apple prices. And it's like, there are some decent things about the hardware, but for the most part, it's really just not worth it. I'm sick of that thing spawning, and... Ugh. Piss off. I hate that stupid spider. The fact I can't do any damage to it is very frustrating. Like, they refuse to have RAM increasing, like, it's like, they still only have, like, 4 gigs of RAM or something on a phone, which significantly decreases the amount of tasks that, well, the capability. Dang, that kind of sucks that it didn't let me do the thing there. I wanted that final parry, man. Oh, he really decided to take a long time to put that out. Really? That's actually an important thing to keep in mind, is that the hitboxes are on the pupils in that phase, it seems. Wait, no, how? Genuinely, how am I supposed to do I double dash and then jump again? But then, wait, like, what do I do? Yeah, you can't, if you already dashed, you can't dash again. You don't get a double dash. This is not Mario Kart. What? I actually don't know what the strap for that is. Do I have to do something like that? That is actually kind of ridiculous. Like, what am I supposed to do? Thanks, man. I hate the bubbles. Oh, the balls, the bouncy balls. But it's like I wish there was a way for something like VTube Studio. I had to pay on the App Store in order to get that, you know, full version unlocked or whatever. And the reason for that is because the developers of that app made it so that they... It's like, if I want to get the tracking... oh, what is it? Like, the USB disconnects after 5 minutes or something, unless you pay. But it disconnects on the end of the phone, and it's like... But there was a Steam sale for the full version of this VTube Studio on Steam. Does that just mean nothing? Like, what if I bought that? It's like, well, no, you have to buy it on iTunes, and iTunes doesn't have anything like Steam with, you know, periodic sales and things going down in value because the actual value is being decreased. I wish every company, I think that's the bottom line, is that I wish every company was like Steam, because they do everything, like, perfectly. Like, the way that they understand the market, and, it's like, you know, a win for the consumer is a win for the corporation, is sort of the way that they handle themselves, where it's like, you know... that is, if I jump to try and do the stupid... Piss off. Piss off. It's like... the only brand loyalty that you get, when you have self-serving features that are 100% self-serving, that harm the consumer. When you have anti-consumer, that's what I say. When you have anti-consumer practices, the only, like, what is the phrase that I literally just used? The only customer loyalty that you get is from corporate slaves who like it because they had it as a kid or something. It's like, you have your console exclusive, the exclusivity. The only people who praise exclusivity are people who praise it, and I almost got screwed over by that stupid thing again. The only people who praise that are the, like... Oh, so every single time. I just gotta concentrate a little bit. For nothing. Concentrating for nothing, by the way. Like, you get customer loyalty from corporate slaves. You get them from people who are children or never grew up, and so they're still children in a sense. People who praise exclusivity because we have more exclusives. It's like the corporation that owns the gaming box that you bought from them doesn't want more people to play games because they're afraid of not making profit by them purchasing their gaming box in particular and being on their ecosystem. And you're proud of that. It's like, you know, you're a child. Whereas I'm sick of that stupid attack. Like versus like indie devs who are like, I just want everybody to be able to play my game and to enjoy it because I'm here to, you know, make the world a better place. You know, when you work in entertainment and culture, it really ought to be part of your charter, you know, to be a great place, the best business really to go to be entertained, you know. I'm just trying to gather my thoughts here a little bit. I really wish I knew, like, what helped me get into my element with, like, trying to talk and trying to play a game and stream at the same time. Because I swear it's like, surely, like, mood affects it, but what affects mood, you know? I don't even know I tried that. Did I actually survive that, though? I'm not sure what happened there. I'm also not sure why this stupid cable will cut my audio out when I move to a particular position. It's kind of annoying and ridiculous and retarded. It needs to stop. Maybe I should turn up NVIDIA broadcast a little bit. I gotta get that noise removal back up. Am I actually... Yeah, we're still into NVIDIA broadcast. Just wanted to turn it up a little bit since I have the fan back on now. Even if I did or didn't take damage there, it's like, how am I supposed to do it with 3 health and I'm not even on the... I'm not even in the basement. The devil's basement. It's like indie devs just being like, I want to help people. I want to creatively, you know, pursue. You know, I'm pursuing a creation. I want to create and to show that to the rest of the world and to entertain and to inspire, to help them have a good time. You know, all of those things, and you know, make a little bit of money at the end of the day when all's said and done at the same time, you know. Whereas I don't think Nintendo or you know, I mean Apple as not just an entertainment company, obviously has some different different priorities when it comes to that, but I think it's literally like we exist to make profit. I swear is like the company, the mission statement for so many companies. It's like, I don't know, friggin' what's Apple's mission statement? Bring the best user experience to customers through innovative hardware, software, and services. That's a lie. Mission and vision statements. Committed to bringing the best personal computing experience to students, educators, creative professionals, and consumers around the world through its innovative hardware, software, and internet offerings. Feel like that's changed a little bit. Apple Park. Whoa, I've never even seen that. It's like the Pentagon, but it's not a pentagon. It's a circle. That is very interesting. It's kind of like corporate to the point of like let's actually show this. Hello? Oh, I forgot this how this works. Like that is kind of corporate to the point of its actual dial-up internet, by the way. Like that is it's so big. It's kind of terrifying. Do they play golf? Like, what's the point of having? That's weird. Like that's a weird like dystopian future looking thing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how dystopian it is really, but like, I want to know more when I see that. See, obviously, it's not good PR for your mission statement to be "We exist to make profit," but if your you know, your board of directors is obviously motivated by that and nothing else, then it really shows. Like, actions speak louder than words, you know? But it definitely frustrates me when I don't need to go off on like a billion tangents. We already know how I feel about Apple. Um, you can't duck under that. I don't know why I tried. Um, Part of the reason I wanted to get a new phone was because of or I mean, part of the reason I was jailbroken was for those extra options. Extra options. Like I wanted to be able to I don't even know what hit me. Was it the imp? This controller, I wanted to be able to connect this controller, and like Xbox controller, whatever. Well, actually, no. The Xbox controller I didn't really prefer to take on the go, and I think that's kind of the reason why. Because it's like I don't want to take two controllers with me. Piss off. Um, It's like I just wanted to take the one controller because, like, you know, if we're gonna play Smash on the Switch, then I've got the Switch Pro controller. Obviously, I'm gonna be playing with GameCube controls because they're the best controls. Um, but I'm gonna be carrying around my Switch Pro GameCube controller, and that requires a certain amount of I don't know why my brain will just randomly start trotting out unrelated phrases. It's like I don't have Joe Biden dementia. I'm just distracted. Die. You can die with that. Let him rot for all I care. That is not what Gimli sounds like. Piss off, man. Um... Piss off every time with that stupid move. All of his conjuring moves are really obnoxious. Except for maybe the fires. Well, no, that is fires. These fires. No, it's still obnoxious. It's still stupid. It's like, you know, I don't want to carry around an Xbox controller and a I just want to get the parry. Get out of my way. You don't want to carry around the Xbox controller and the GameCube controller all the time. So it's like, you know, the solution is to make it so that all of your devices can actually connect that controller. This is before I got the Steam Deck. It was like, well, I have decent enough connection on my phone, and now I have piss off. I have 5G. And with 5G, you know, it's pretty good. But die, like actually die, actually expire permanently. I was trying to get back onto the ground so I could dash. Invincible dash. Roll, whatever the stupid thing is. I really hate the lack of damage that I can do in that phase. It's an attack. Yeah, it's entirely RNG dependent. This is tough enough without the imps, man. I remember just trying to beat the game. I struggled pretty tough. Pretty tough? I found it pretty tough. I struggled pretty hard with the... Shut up. Just shut up. Is it really 12 a.m. already? I don't want to end a stream without having made any progress whatsoever. That is retarded. I don't want to say retarded or kill yourself constantly on stream. Where's the entertaining rage? Where's the rage that comes out when I'm like actually having a good time? Well, no, it's like I'm not having a good time, but that's why it's entertaining. Dial up the autism all the way. See, RNG like that, like, okay, that was actually fine. Oh, it almost screwed me over. That would have been very frustrating. I don't really understand how the rules of that axe work. That was close. Sorry about that. I don't want to. Oh, if I like get up to go to the bathroom, piss. Speaking of which, then I'm gonna curse this run, and that's gonna be very sad. I feel like now I'm kind of hit my. Okay, okay. You got to dash out. Oh, you got an invincible dash. Oh. Oh. Okay. 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 Oh wow. That's actually kind of. What? That's actually kind of surprising. Please tell me I got it. Wow. Okay. I wonder if I wouldn't have been able to do that had I not been interrupted. That. Okay. I did it. That's excellent. Um. Yeah. 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 Shut up. Shut up. Yeah. 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 Ba 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 ba. Yeah. 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 Get it out of here. Do I really have to do this? Okay, no, I don't. I don't have to fast forward it, no, that's good. Well, at least I did get one S rank here. See, I knew I was close on that. Um, it's nice to have that out of the way. So the only one I've got left now is King Dice, which shouldn't be too bad. I really ought to go to sleep. Yeah, I ought to go to sleep, like, ASAP here, so... I shall bid the stream adieu. That is good that I actually managed to defeat it. I do appreciate that much. Yeah, I made some decent progress. Let me finish rambling about what I was rambling about, okay? Cause... Oh, I wish I could... Whatever. I'll just... Here, this'll be cool. I'll have the background audio and everything. What was I saying? I appreciate when companies are based and not cringe, first of all. But then it's like... I was having my... dementia. Literal dementia. I can't put words together. Like, maybe it's because I'm tired. Maybe I don't know what's going on. But I've got... There's a... It's like end control is the tweak that you can have. That gives you the ability to have your stuff... connect any controller you want. You've got certain things like... just simple stuff like the option to double tap your camera like Snapchat and have it flip cameras rather than having to go down into the corner. Certain things you can do to unlock like video capture, frame rate stuff, like all sorts of things. And app developers for one thing, and the corporations that control them, like Snapchat, like Twitter. I don't know if Twitter has anything that's really effective. Like they put in something where it's like, oh no, you can't do that. Snapchat will ban your account if it knows that you have some sort of a tweak that makes it so that you can like screen record without the knowledge of somebody on there or something like that. Like I don't know. Or save people's stuff like to camera. Like, I don't even know. I've never really used those tweaks much before. But it's like it's annoying that both the apps and the platform that they're on really hate it when you do things like that. And I don't know, I feel like they just forget that they're going to lose people the moment that you have some sort of a practice like that in place. So it's like I just it never hurts to have options, right? Like it's regardless, one such corporation that has these apps that they have practices in place within the apps to make it so it's like, oh, you get banned if you're doing this or whatever, um is Niantic. And I'm not sure if it's because I actually, is Niantic like even related to Nintendo? Like I don't even know what their situation is, but um they don't want people to be able to get in so that they can like spoof or cheat in the game or rip models. But all they do when they put those roadblocks in place is they make it so that it just takes a little bit longer. Um, it's like anti-piracy measures. It's like if you just made your game or your app or whatever available and as easily available to purchase as possible with as many options to accommodate people's different use cases as possible, then you're gonna be able to like make more money that way. Um, but the moment that you have something that is unfeasible for just about everybody, except for rich people like Adobe, where it's like you have to pay X amount per year or per month or whatever as a subscription to be able to get this thing. It's like I it becomes the moment that it is more easy and convenient to pirate something, people are going to pirate it. um and in a similar way, the people who want to pirate something are going to find a way to do it regardless of how many measures and safeguards you put in their way. So assume that people are going to do that regardless. Always assume that people are going to just, in the same way that's like, if someone's a criminal and they want to like a violent criminal, they want to shoot somebody or something, they're gonna find a gun and do it. Like there's nothing that you can really do to prevent some evil person from trying to commit something evil if they're going to try as hard as they possibly can to do so. Um, so you can sort of keep your head free of that. Like you don't have to worry so much. Um, where it's like with people trying to get into Niantic to cheat in Pokemon Go, people trying to rip the models of all the Pokemon from the game. Those people are going to get in and do it anyway because they're technologically savvy and they want to do it. Like, you are not going to stop them. Someone out there is going to code something to be able to bypass and to hit some sort of a something that they can get in there and just get them, they can get in there and cheat. So it's like, for some things, it's entirely possible that it's like, okay, so what are the use cases? Why do people want my models of these intellectual properties? Do they want to use them in their own games or animations? Do they want to import them and rig them into SFM or something like that? What do they want these for? Do they just want to know what's in the background of the game? Because there are a lot of things that you can do to help them with those options, so that they don't even have to, go out of their way to do that. You can just be like, oh, you wanted to have that option. Well, that's super easy. I can just do that for you right now. Um, I think having that in place is a very important thing to keep in mind, because it's like with Steam, when they released the Steam Deck, there's like a billion things where it's like, can I run Windows on it? Yes, and you can do so. This is how, here's the SDK for you to be able to actually do things on our platform, and here's stuff we're going to be developing in the coming months to be able to improve this and that. Here is literally a teardown on our YouTube by a I don't know if they were a Valve employee or just someone who, like a spokesperson, but it's like, this here's our company telling you exactly how to tear this thing apart. Now there's certain things that you should and shouldn't do when you do this. So there's a warning that you're gonna have to put out when you. It's like, here we go. This is, only do this if you know that you're up for it, type of deal. But it's like this, like it's like, we don't want you to do this for like warranty voiding reasons. I don't know. I don't even know. But like, just having the transparency and openness where it's like, if you're gonna do this, here's our entire thing explaining how you can go in and you can swap out the internal storage, and you can go in and swap out like this is what it physically looks like, that sort of thing. Apple does not want you to get into their phones. They literally have had measures in place that have made it more and more difficult for people to actually repair the hardware themselves, because what they want you to do is they want you to go into an Apple store and trade it in and get a new one. They want you to go in and be paying them more every single time. They don't want you to know how that functions on a developmental, software level, because they want you to be depending on them to do everything, because they want to have everything locked down. They want to have everything under their iron fist. It's like, what if I just want to have a very slight change? What if I just want a little tweak to be able to change the way that something works? No, they don't want you to do that. So you could just like add a little thing so that it's like, it's possible for me to connect up a controller, of my choice to my phone that I own, that I bought from you, that I own. No, you can't do it unless we code it in. Then you can do it. But if it's not available on that iOS, that's unfortunate. I guess you're just gonna have to upgrade to a newer phone. Well, when you continue having stuff like that, you're putting in impasses at me constantly, over and over and over again. Basically just making it so that I don't want to do what you say anymore. And it's like, I'm motivated less and less to actually get a super expensive phone. Like, you're tipping the scales in another direction. I don't want to get a super expensive phone. I don't want to do that, because it's costing me more up front, and all of your features suck, and your ideas for pushing out these features and the way that you actually treat the people who are paying your bills, and making sure that all of your stock prices where it's at. The consumers, most important people to a company, the one who keeps us in business, as some may say. If you don't give a crap about them, then your business is going to be affected by that. There's going to be people, there's always going to be stupid people, right, who are willing to waste money on things because they don't know how to make good, what's the word, purchasing decisions. Just people who are just bad at controlling themselves. Self-control. Self-control can definitely be a part of it, but it's like you don't know how to make good buying decisions, and you defend certain practices that are absolutely not good. And why do you defend these things? Why do the Nintendo children defend so vehemently Nintendo ruining their own games in order to have them on the Switch as an underpowered, underspec platform that was underpowered and underspec when it came out, on this horrible little mobile processor that it doesn't have enough power to actually play at a decent frame rate, either docked or undocked. Sorry, Sakurai, sorry, all of the people within the team that was behind Smash Ultimate. If you want to have, if you spent X amount of time on those character models so that you could render them out and make them look super nice in the game, then you're going to have to keep in mind that this has to run on terrible hardware. So, the character models are going to look terrible in comparison. Look at them, like look at next time you're in the game. Zoom in on Donkey Kong, zoom in on Wolf, zoom in on like whatever characters. Like Fur looks absolutely awful, because they have to get lower texture sets, they have to get lower poly counts, they have to go insane to just a ridiculous level of reducing the quality of everything that they have, just so it can fit on. Just so it can run well enough. Not even well. It doesn't run well. It runs well enough. Barely well enough in some cases for some games. Because the platform is under spec. Like, Hollow Knight is a great game. It's a game you can put a lot of time and effort. You can play that game for forever. Great game to have out and about. It runs horribly on the Switch, because the Switch is horrible. It's not a good platform, and you know, taking it on the Steam Deck in comparison, pretty fantastic. Binding of Isaac is kind of a similar deal, that you were gonna get better frames on the Steam Deck because it's powerfully spec'd, especially for something that's portable. Yeah, quite obvious that I'm rambling pretty intensely at this point, but it's important to keep in mind. Regardless, with Pokemon Go, I had no ability to get into the game because they have anti piracy, not piracy, anti jailbreaking methods. They have a jailbreak detection within the game, within the application itself, that you know it sees when you've got root access. Whatever, I don't even know how it actually detects it, but it's like, hey, this person actually has the ability to muck about in our system here, lock them out. So it has a warning that shows up, and it's very arbitrary. So sometimes it'll just crash the app repeatedly, which is obviously very annoying. But then sometimes you actually can get in, especially if you reset some things. You can get in and you can look at the you can look at you can do a couple of things within the app. You can play for a bit, and then it'll just randomly give you a notice being like, this device or OS is incompatible with Pokemon Go, which is literally false in my case. So I was jailbroken. I unjailbroke. You know, did the entire process to actually restore the system properly. Had everything in with that figured out, and yet I, you know, ended up the controller disconnected, timed out. Anyway, I ended up not being able to have that piss. What was I even saying? I didn't have the option to even get in the game because I was on a phone that had like previously been. No, there was something deep within the files of this installation on this OS, of the memory, you know, where it thought that I still had a jailbreak active, even when I didn't. So I'm like, that's annoying, because and it's weird, like sometimes bank apps have jailbreak detection for similar reasons. They don't want you like mucking about within their system and stuff. Other apps have similar things, and you have to get a bypass for it. The only app that I had any problems with was Pokemon Go, and it's kind of bizarre. So for many reasons, and it's mostly because the battery life was absolutely terrible on this iPhone 7 by the point that I upgraded to it earliest. I upgraded from it. I was liberated from it earlier this year. The battery life was terrible. I was pretty sick of that, and I'm like, okay, let's get the new phone. I went on Back Market. It's a pretty decent place to get some cheap stuff. I was like, I don't even know, $300 for this iPhone 12 mini, and it's got its problems for sure. The overheating is pretty egregious. I can't use the wireless charger on this thing without it overheating, and it will freeze, and it'll say I can't continue charging until iPhone returns into normal temperature. But then it never returns to normal temperature because it thinks that it has to keep charging. So it literally just it is ridiculous, because you know the way that wireless charging works is, you know, the electromagnet, it causes heat. A certain amount of heat is going to be released from that, as well as the fact that the battery's getting charged. It's going to release heat as well. Especially, and if you were doing something on it, like right now, the phone's going to be really hot. And it's plugged in, it's charging, because it's plugged into the laptop, which is running the VTube Studio, and it's sending the data that way. Because it's using the mocap through the Face ID, that somehow takes enough processing power. Just doing that and sending that data to the laptop, it takes enough processing power that it overheats after a certain amount of time, and it will refuse to charge. So eventually it'll die, which is pretty excellent. So I have to have it like completely fully charged by the beginning of the stream. I mean that's its own issue. When I when I upgraded to this phone, I opted to do a restore from like the local restore. Like I didn't plug into iTunes, back up the old phone, and then plug in the new phone, set it up as you know. I didn't do any of that. I just, you know, it just transferred right over wirelessly. Like basically, it's like I airdropped my entire OS save sort of, and all the data that comes with it. But something within that data, something within that code made it so that like it carried on that gene or whatever the piss. So I couldn't open up Pokemon Go and then you know if I swap things around, I did a bit of digging. It was like, you know, if I could finally get in after like trying to launch the app a billion times, then it eventually would give me the this device or OS is incompatible error. Um, and I mean, it's really quite ridiculous that's the case for this thing. And I was planning on getting rid of the 7, but I just barely set it up on a brand new, like, fresh OS, and it's completely fine. It can run the game perfectly fine. So it's like, and I don't want to have my old phone. I have backups of the data and stuff, so it'd probably be fine. It's just obnoxious to have to deal with, like, I'd have to set up my entire phone, like, make sure that all the data is backed up, have to deal with all of that when if they could just not have that measure there in the first place. And you know, maybe it'd be nice just for a bit of housekeeping that I'd go in and make sure that I'm not just carrying around useless data. um but I don't know, to a certain degree it's like maybe I should just try and let some of this data go. um but at the same time it's like I don't know. um like I don't need to have like a VoIP anymore, really. I don't have to keep a number for a VoIP. Like that doesn't really matter like at all. um but yeah, it's like, you know, I can't open it on the phone that I want to open it onto. This phone is already like, see, and it's a good phone. I don't want to kill the battery. Technically, by doing this, I'm probably killing the battery like significantly. um and I don't want to do that. So it's like I just want like a burner iPhone 10. um but I think the Face ID on that is actually a bit worse anyways. It's unfortunate. I mean, that's actually like a hardware flaw more than it is a software flaw. um but to a certain degree it is a software flaw, because it's like I don't have the ability to bypass that and just say I don't care how hot it gets, just let the stupid thing charge. um Technically that would have a negative impact on the battery's health, and you know, you never really need your battery health to be even worse. And because they don't want people to actually muck about within the internal components of that, because they want you to go in and to trade it in and to buy a new one from them, they just make it so that, you know, like if it were like a PC, you know, I'd just be able to. And you know, part of the difficulty with, you know, them being very different things, laptops, PCs. A PC is very open. It's pretty easy to get in and replace whatever you want to replace. um but it's kind of designed for that. A laptop needs to be small, so all of the internal components are jam packed in there. It makes it very difficult to get in there and to muck about in it. Same thing with a phone, except it's obviously even smaller, and there's no active cooling on that. No real possible way to get active cooling on a phone. At least, see, mobile technology, like, you know, the Switch and the Steam Deck, is mobile, but they're not designed for the same purposes, obviously. But those have active cooling in them. Um, yeah, it's like so many complicated things that could be avoided if they simply didn't have anti-consumer practices, because they're not getting actively harmed all that much by people cheating in the game. Um, well, I mean, it is an anti-consumer practice from the bottom up. The game itself says you can only get 50 Pokecoins a day by having your Pokemon in a gym and it getting knocked out after a certain amount of time spent in that gym, um, it returns to you, gives you a certain amount of Pokecoins. What can you buy with the Pokecoins? Well, there's all sorts of things you can buy with them, but one of the most important things is you can get bigger space in your bag, bigger space in your Pokemon storage. It's like I have like 1,500 space in my Pokemon storage. I have like 550 something space in my bag. Um, but you have to continually upgrade those. Because if you don't continually upgrade those, eventually you're going to run out. Even if you're transferring absolutely everything that isn't necessary to have, um, like the most important, most valuable Pokemon to have. It's like you keep your shinies, you keep your 3 or 4 stars, you keep your like basically things that are useful to you. Um, it's like eventually you kind of still run into. It's like I'm still running out of space because I've filled it up with more important things that I don't want to like transfer and get rid of, stuff that I want to keep. Um, if they just didn't limit that in the first place, like it's actively, it's not really pay to win, but it's like pay for like the convenience's sake of not having to deal with like that all of that crap. Um, and it's like people who cheat, the only thing that they can do is they can make it to a gym to put their Pokemon in it without actually having to physically be there in the first place. And it's like, and if I don't want to spend and dedicate all that much time to doing this stupid thing in this game, um, if I just wanted to have, be a little bit of a time waster on the side, then it's like, you're actively making it less fun to play the game because you want to make money by me playing the game. And it's like I'm not just a rich person who can just spend money on whatever the piss. And even then, I don't think that rich people. I think rich people to a certain degree have a moral obligation to not encourage practices like that because um, people rely off of whales. Just people with endless sums of money who can just throw it at whatever. Um, Whales make a significant amount of the profit that lots of people with these things will. Um, it's like even if the person who doesn't want to, it's like their target audience is not, at least for the people who are spending the money, their consumer is not the person who doesn't want to spend any money on games ever. Their consumer is the person who has so much money that they don't give a crap about it. So it's like if those people stopped sending money because they just have fu money, then they could just spend on literally everything all over the place. Um, then those corporations would be forced to be like, oh crap, I I now don't have a way to profit without catering to those people. It's like you people at the top make it more difficult for us people at the bottom by paying, but by rewarding those business practices that harm us people at the bottom. So you really have to keep that in mind because it's very important, keeping your fellow man in mind. Um, as a corporation, as a rich person who, or a, not a wealthy person, someone who just who's got a lot of, I don't know what am I saying, like somebody who doesn't everyone has an effect on the world around them, and everyone should be conscious of the effect that they're having by interacting with anybody or not interacting with anybody. Like, what is the impact that you are having on the world, having on the people around you? And is it the impact that you would want it to be having? Consequentialism, or what did Aristotle do? I liked Aristotle's moral theories a little bit better than some of the other people, but yeah, you know, you've got all of these you've got all of these things coming together, like I don't know, the lawmakers need to be sure that their constituents, the people they're representing, that they're helping people out by making policies that prevent people from hurting them, corporations. I'm thinking in particular, if it was a regulation, kind of like it is in the EU, that you don't get to have your own special power cable because everybody else is using a better standard USB-C, so you have to put a USB-C on an iPhone. I think that that's happening in somewhere in Europe. I'm pretty sure they're strong arming Apple to do something like that. It's like I'm not entirely free enterprise. I do believe in a certain amount of antitrust. Even as a libertarian, it's like I don't think that we should be allowing corporations to do things in such a self-serving way. But then again, it's like, if people made better purchasing decisions and they punished corporations for doing stuff like that, then the corporations would have no other choice than to actually enforce a pro-consumer outlook. And I think like that's the thing that I'm most frustrated with, is they don't care because there are people who are going to buy them anyway, and there are corporate slaves, children who never really grew up with this, or people like me who are just dependent on the infrastructure alone. Not the infrastructure, the like I think to a certain degree I contribute to it because I still use the phone, and simply having that as a something downstream. I mean, it doesn't contribute to it as much as the people who are just willing to purchase like insane. It's like someone who pays the subscription to make sure that they have all the Adobe products, and just like rich people, you know, pissing all their money directly into Apple, and Adobe and whatnot. Like they allow them to do that, and it's like, Adobe right here in Utah, like what are they doing with all of that extra profit? If they're going to be funded by whales, I don't know. I think that's pretty much the long and short of it. I probably could have been eating at the same time of that entire spiel. Would have been nice to shower as well, but who cares, right? Who needs showers? Who needs showering? In any case, I'm just glad that I got through this game before having to tune out for the rest of the night. So yeah, friggin' Elon Ma. Well, I mean that's not Elon Ma. It's what would you call that? Willie Musk, Elon Wonka. Well, I don't know. Funny story. I'll leave off with this. My therapist told me, sort of randomly, so I think it was several weeks ago, so just like middle of the session, we were just talking, and he told me somewhat out of the blue, "You're like Elon Musk." Well, and we were talking about, autism and everything. He's like, "You're like Elon Musk." I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Well, I believe he's on the spectrum. There's something coming out with. There's been either speculation or some sort of a diagnosis where he's on the spectrum." And I'm like, "I suppose so." It's funny to sort of be compared to him in that way. I wonder if he at 20 years old, 20, 22, early 20s, or whenever, like, I wonder if he sort of had a lot of the thoughts and ideas and worries that I have now at my age. Not to get too introspective about the the future, what the future holds, how everything's gonna change. I don't know. I feel like trying to get through this S rank has been a bit of a challenge in the sense of me, like it's like what's the word? Like I think it's affected my mood. You know, you get a little bit angry just trying to get through all of the BS that you've got to get through, and like it just kind of it gets you a little bit. Um, Makes it a little more difficult for me to like I have a certain vision of the way that I want to portray myself on stream, and I think it sort of falls flat a little bit sometimes, or I fall short of the vision that I have, and I think that that's kind of the case for everything to a certain degree. I think everybody kind of has to deal with that every once in a while, but I'm an optimist. I think at heart I'm a pessimist, but like no, I don't know. I don't know if I would even say that. Everybody gets down. Everybody sort of feels pessimistic at times, and that's natural. It's definitely. I think humans are naturally pessimistic in that we like to focus on the negative. Um, and it's easy to beat yourself up about everything, but it's fine as long as you just try to do better tomorrow than you did today. Oh no, I messed it up. Be better today than you were yesterday, and better tomorrow than you were today. Just constant improvement, and I think I naturally sort of have that because ADHD sort of puts me in that predicament. ADHD-tism moment. You just sort of want to constantly improve. I don't feel good. I actually feel very depressed. I feel very trapped when I'm not actively making progress. If I spend an entire day doing not very much, at least from the outset, like ostensibly, if I can't tangibly see that I've spent a lot of time doing something and making progress in a very good way, then I feel very inadequate by the end of that day. Versus when I've actually seen how much progress that I've made, I can feel very much motivated, and I, the workaholic in me was trapped behind a lack of doepinephrine in the brain. No epinephrine, not doepinephrine. Do. I like deer. Deer are pretty fun. Regardless, that's it's good to be improving. It's good to feel a bit better on the outside of your life. Not feeling so trapped, or feeling like you can never. The light at the end of the tunnel sort of is important. It's nice to have that. So I think that's part of this is the issue with my rambling, is that it just never really stops. Things I think even now, when I've kind of just been focusing on the rambling in and of itself, it's been difficult for me to actually get to that point where my brain is properly ticked it off. Like I was talking a couple streams ago, it's like I need to tick off where it's like I'm done talking about this topic because I've exhausted everything that I wanted to say about it, right? But if I haven't processed the topic enough, or if I'm being distracted by the game from actually being able to process the topic, I can't take it off in my brain. Yeah, I don't know. It's important to keep, a lot of that stuff in mind, but at the same time, like, who cares? It doesn't really matter in the end anyway. Like, it's me. The only one who's really judging you is yourself. I really want to be able to speak and to have all of these topics that are constantly firing off in my brain, because it never stops, not even in sleep. That's what autism does. ADHD, that's what both of them together, the trifecta. I don't know if it's a trifecta anymore. I used to think OCD was on there as well. Regardless, like it feels like ADHD or OCD because the autism affects that. It's like my sensory issues, I think, is really the reason why that OCD was there. And I think I do have, in a sense, it is clinical OCD, but it wouldn't be really to the degree that it is. I don't even know if it would exist necessarily if not for the autism. Um, it's just sort of an additional tag that exists due to the specific flavor of autism that I've got. Um, yeah, I've got food to eat. I've got things to do. So sleep to get, food to eat, sleep to get, piss to have. I don't know. I don't know why. It's over. It's over. Well, folks, it's been real.